This Labor Day weekend, while most of us were trying to get a little bit of last-minute summer R&R, the California State Legislature wrapped up its legislative session. But a massive fight broke out on the assembly floor with a shouting match and profanity. Coming up, we'll tell you what happened and why it just exposes the corruption of one-party control in the state of California. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and this weekend I hope you had a restful Labor Day weekend and got a little bit of barbecue time or beach time or pool time or just were able to just relax. Well, while we were trying to fit in one last weekend of summer fun, the legislature in California, in Sacramento, was trying to make a mad dash to pass as many bad bills as possible before the statutory deadline of their term expires. And on Saturday, tensions bubbled over. And Democrats showed once again that they're tyrannical. They do not respect democracy. And they like to silence the voices of democratically elected representatives, the voice of opposition. A fight broke out on the assembly floor. And it's because Assemblymember Bill Assaili, who we are very fond of here at Reform California, he's a true fighter. He was appalled that California Democrats were trying to kill two reparation bills without forcing Democrats to actually vote them down themselves. Now, let me just tell you right now, Bill Assaili is not a supporter of reparations. It's insane. It's unconstitutional. It's a waste of money. It's racially divisive. But he saw that Democrats were trying to basically kill the bills without voting on them. And he thought, well, you know what? If you're going to vote down these reparation bills, you better be on record so that the public knows that when you are out there hooting and hollering and race baiting about reparations, that you're actually just doing it for politics. You don't really take these bizarre ideas seriously. It's all about dividing us, fomenting anger and distrust and discord. So Bill Assaili is trying to get recognized on the assembly floor to make a motion to call a question. The presiding officer blatantly ignores him. And Bill Assaili, to his credit, is banging on his desk. Here was the exchange caught on video by a reporter sitting in the back of the chamber. Here we go. See here. There we go.
Now move to take up AB 1836 by Assemblymember Bauer-Cahan.
Assembly Bill 1836 by Assemblymember Bauer-Cahan, regulate the intellectual property.
Respectfully ask your honor.
Thank you, Assemblymember Bauer-Cahan. Hey! Mr. Galvin, you are recognized. I'm talking to you. Mr. Galvin, you are recognized. I have the right to speak. Hello? You sacrifice that right. Mr. Galvin, you are recognized. Your time. You are out of order. Mr. Gallagher, your time is ticking away. You're now down to 15 seconds, Mr. Gallagher. Do you have testimony, Mr. Gallagher?
Mr. Speaker, I do.
It's not going to shut me up. To shut 500,000
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Seeing and hearing no further debate, clerk will open the roll.
So Democrats not only didn't take his motion to force a vote on the bill because they didn't want to be held accountable. They didn't want to be transparent about the fact that they were conning and scamming black voters in California into thinking that they somehow gave a damn about getting them free money with reparations, because Democrats know that this is going nowhere. They shut down. There's no parliamentary procedure here. There's no fairness here. Okay, you want to talk about a threat to our democracy? Where are all the media outlets hooting and hollering about the threat to the democracy when, in fact, this is an abuse of power by a tyrannical one-party super mega majority in Sacramento? By the way, the bills, they limited debate on bills to 30 seconds each. Big bills with massive consequences in the remaining moments of the legislature got crammed through. Might makes right. And of course, the California liberal media, they carry the water because they don't cover any of this sort of stuff. Well, there was one exception, KCRA up in Sacramento with Ashley Zavala. Ashley Zavala is a rock star. She's doing great work up there. She's actually a true journalist at this point. She pointed out that there were a lot of African Americans at the Capitol wanting their reparation bill, and they were disappointed as well about the basically the game that Democrats played in not having a vote. Listen in.
Tonight is the final night of California's legislative session. State lawmakers have until midnight tonight to pass proposed laws for the year. Ahead of the deadline, advocates for reparations for Black Californians have been protesting all day as lawmakers plan to block two key bills for that effort. KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala is live at the state capitol right now with what's happening. Ashley?
That's right, Orko. This has been the big story mainly all day here. California's Legislative Black Caucus, which represents the Black members of the state legislature, confirmed that lawmakers will not move forward with those two key proposals. The first, SB 1403, which would establish a state agency to oversee the state's reparations efforts. The other, SB 1331, that would establish a state fund for reparations. So the blocking of these bills has angered protesters who've been in the Capitol Rotunda all day, yelling at lawmakers in the assembly to bring the bills up for a vote. State Senator Stephen Bradford said Governor Newsom's office asked him to make changes to the bill that would establish the state agency and to instead turn it into a study of reparations recommendations by the University of California. Bradford would not accept the changes, and he says the Legislative Black Caucus is afraid of the veto. But the leader of the Legislative Black Caucus, Assemblymember Lori Wilson, denied this. Bradford told us, though, the bills have the votes.
We're at the finish line. And I think we as a Black Caucus owe it to the descendants of chattel slavery. We owe it to Black Californians and Black Americans to move this legislation forward and get it to the governor's desk.
Now, nothing is final until the gavel drops here at midnight, but it's unlikely that these bills will come up for a vote. So it's something that will continue to.
So that's good that she covered it, but she was the only one. And this is, again, part of our problem in California is that we have a lying liberal media that covers up the corruption, the hypocrisy, the lies of the Democrats. And that's why Reform California spends a lot of time educating voters. With shows like this, every day at 5 o'clock, we bring you the stories that the media, with the exception of Ashley Zavala, they refuse to cover. And this is such quintessentially Democrat gamesmanship on so many levels. They con Black voters into thinking they actually give a damn. They offer a proposal that is unconstitutional, offensive, wasteful, absurd, divisive. But then they know, well, if we do this, the most of the other voters are going to think we're crazy and be upset with us. So we're going to have our cake and eat it too. Yeah. We're going to tell the Blacks that we want to give them the reparations, but then we're just not going to vote on the bill. And we're going to blame Republicans for it in the process. And then in order to make sure that no member actually has a recorded vote on this scam, they don't recognize a member of the opposition party who just says, hey, call the question. I want to get everyone to record their vote on deciding not to move forward. And they break parliamentary procedure. They break the rules. And they're allowed to do it with no media transparency or accountability. We bring stories like this out into the open. And we need to be more effective at reaching more people. So please go online to reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution. Also like this video, help us goose the algorithm to spread the word. And 84% of you are not subscribed to the channel yet. Please smash that subscription button and click the notification button. Ballots are going to arrive in just a matter of a few weeks. And I want to remind you that we do have our Reform California Plain English Voter Guide that is up and out on the website, reformcalifornia.org. It gives you a plain description of every single ballot measure. And this is important because the politicians lie on the ballot and they get away with it. Our voter guide is our most consequential weapon to win the fights against tax hikes, to restore powers to police and prosecutors. All of these things are on the ballot statewide. And of course, we're trying to defeat over 250 local tax hikes on local ballot measures. And support all of our great candidates that we've endorsed in the November 2024 election. So go online, check out the voter guide. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do, because we will send you an email and a text with the voter guide for your area on October 1st, right before your ballot hits. Check it out at reformcalifornia.org, click under voter help and then voter guides, and then go to the region where you live to get all the information on the races in your area. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.